Hello ladies and gentlemen, in this video we are going to see about a public expenditure. Expenditure is nothing but a expenses. Expenditure is nothing but a expenses. Public expenditure is nothing but a expenses that was done by the government. Expenditure that was done by the government is known as a public expenditure. So the public expenditure was classified into various ways and we are going to see one by one. First one is a capital expenditure and then a revenue expenditure. Capital expenditure is nothing but a creation of assets. It involves a creation of some assets. Take for example, it may be a physical assets. Physical assets is nothing but a asset which having a physical presence, which we can able to see, which we can able to touch it. Take for example, a building, then machinery, then equipment. These are all the physical assets because we can able to see and touch it. The next one is the financial assets. Financial assets is nothing but the loans and advances. The government is providing a loans and advances to various peoples, various parties, and by these loans and advances, government is earning a interest. Government is earning a interest on it. From these physical assets like building, through building, government is earning a rent. Government is earning a rent on building. The machinery, using machinery was used for a production. Machinery was used for a production. The equipment was also used for a production. So by means of a production and rent, government is earning a income, and by means of a financial assets like loans and advances, government is earning a income through interest. So a capital expenditure is nothing but a through expenditure by which the government can create a physical assets, and through that physical assets government is earning a income, government is earning a money. That is what is known as a capital expenditure, creation of assets, and by means of assets government is earning a income. That is what is known as a capital expenditure. Then revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure is nothing but which was useful for a functioning of a government. Expenditure on a government functioning is known as a revenue expenditure. And also interest payments. Government is taking a loan from various sources. Government is taking a loans and advancement from various sources, and government need to pay a interest for that loans and the advances. So these two functions, expenditure on government functioning and interest payments and grants, this does not earn any income for a government. This does not earn a income for a government. It only useful for a functioning, useful for a effective functioning of a government. It does not earn a income for a government. Government cannot be able to get any income from this revenue expenditure. So that is what is known as a revenue expenditure, and the difference between these two is that it involves a earning and the creation of a physical and other assets, financial assets. It does not earn any income, but useful for a effective functioning of a government. Next one that we are going to see is a direct expenditure and the transfer expenditure. Direct expenditure is nothing but the government spends the money directly. So government spends the money on various things directly by its own hand. Take for example, government is constructing schools for giving education to the people, government schools. So government spending the money directly. Then government constructs a hospital to give a treatment to the people. So money was spent by the government directly. Then transport, government is doing the transport services, buses, etc., trains. By this way, government spending the money directly through its departments, okay, through its various organs. So it was directly spent by the government. Next one is the transfer expenditure is nothing but Government does not spend the money directly on consumption, but it transfers the money to the people or any other organization or businesses for a spending. Okay, government does not spend it directly. It transfers the money to the people. Take for example, government is providing a subsidy on various products such as foreign agricultural products. Then for some businesses, for a effective functioning of a business, government is providing a subsidy to the business. Then some other subsidies for welfare measures. So these are all transferred. Government transfers the money to the other parties, to the people, to the businesses. It does not spend it directly, but transfers the money to the people. Next, old age pensions. Government is providing a pension to the elder persons, old age peoples. Then other welfare measures. So here, government does not spend the money directly, but it transfers the money to the people and they spend it on a various ways. Next one is the productive expenditure and the unproductive expenditure. Productive expenditure is nothing but which brings the income to the government. So productive expenditure brings some income to the government, which is nothing but take for example factories. Okay, government factories involve some production and selling the product to peoples and other, and then by this way government is earning a income. Next one is the unproductive expenditure, which does not bring income to the government. So unproductive expenditure is nothing but it was an expenditure, it may be any expenditure, but it does not use any income to the government. Take for example defense. Government is spending the money to buy defense products such as defense airplanes, guns, machineries, defense tanks. So these assets were used for safeguarding the nation, safeguarding our land, not for creation of an income. The government does not able to get an income from such an expenses, but used for safeguarding our country. So unproductive expenditure and productive expenditure. Next one is the development expenditure, which brings an economic growth. So development expenditure brings an economic growth. It may be either for a business, it may be either for a people, some improvement in the economic condition and social condition. People's lifestyle will improve through this development expenditure. Take for example education. Through education, the lifestyle of the people will change. A person who got an education goes to a high paying job or some other technical jobs. By this way, we earn a lot of incomes. So education changes a lifestyle, which is nothing but a social development. Then communication expenditure. Through communication, people transfers the messages and other files, data easily. So it brings a economic growth to the country. Next one is a non-development expenditure. Only for safeguarding activities. Non-development expenditure is for a safeguarding activities. It does not provide a productivity. It does not provide a development directly, but in an indirect way. Okay, it does not give development or productivity directly, but gives an indirect benefit. Take for example, it is only for a safeguarding activities and other unproductive expenditure. We can also take an example of a defense here. Okay, defense is used for safeguarding the country, safeguarding the people, safeguarding the assets of a people. Okay, but it does not directly give any development. It only gives us safeguarding purposes. We can able to better safeguarding and efficiently safeguard our country. Production is not come from that assets. Next, interest payments. Government is paying interest on its loans. Government getting a loan from a various sources, and it need to give a interest for that. So giving interest is a expense, but government income was goes to another person by means of a interest. So it is a unproductive one. So these are all the various classification of a public expenditure. Thank you.